gonna bring it out. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
Yo, I love it. I love it. Holy shit. Okay. So welcome back. Episode 9. Sit your podcast down. Your boy McFly. We got Reek. We got G. What's a week? Every week, I'm gonna keep saying that shit because every week is something new. Oh, yeah, man.
This is already. When we get on Joe,
don't spoil it.
I'm not. But here's some new information I literally just got right before the podcast.
This is breaking news. Is this breaking news?
I don't know. It's breaking. A lot of people don't know about it. I know that.
Oh, man. All right. So,
courtesy of Andrew Schultz.
Oh.
And he says he has a super reliable source.
Source drop. Let's go. All right. Well, I am excited for that. 100%. I was going to start with our good buddy Kanye. I'm not sure if y'all seen this, and I think I said y'all didn't see it. So my man, he walked on water on Sunday. I don't know if any of y'all saw this.
Like, what you mean, though?
like really walked on? Like,
no, look up the pictures. He walked on water for Sunday service. It's just pictures of him on a pond with his kids walking. And I was like, he's lost his mind. He really has lost his mind. I think he said it was for his Sunday service, Joel Osteen, who was the biggest crook in using the Bible today. You follow him. I'm sorry. That man's a crook. He did his Sunday service for Kanye, and Kanye walked in walking on water. And I'm only mad because it's insane. It's religious fanaticism. And it's like, what is wrong with y'all? Why does this look normal to you? And it just, I'm surprised I didn't see this shit. I could not believe it.
I had no, all I know is he did an interview with Nick Cannon. I didn't watch that yet.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was taking the Yeezus thing this far.
Everything he does, I see it and I'm just like, could you just stop, dude, please? Like, what's wrong with you? I mean, I guess you get to be worth $3 billion and you lose your shit.
So like he walk on water, or like there was
it sounded like it's like something under the pond.
Well, G, he not really walking on water, or he is Jesus, and we are blasphemous acts. If that's the case, I need to call him right now and talk to him. But no, I mean, it looks like you see they're dipped a little bit. He ain't really walking on water, but apparently that's what they did. They had this service in the pond. And that's what they did. They walked on water, and I just think he's crazy as shit, and he needs to just sit down somewhere and just stop. But I'm so shocked I didn't see. I did not see a man walk on water.
I didn't know he did any of that. Like
I didn't. I don't usually like. It hit my timeline. I was like,
it's been it's almost like it's been so much stuff going on this week that it's been a slow week for the trolls, because normally this would be like a big deal. Kanye doing something like this, or Kanye's interview would have been a big deal. Like, nobody cared about any of this stuff. Nobody cared about 6ix9ine. Nobody cared about none of that like that.
Yeah, including his fake sales that he got exposed for.
Right. Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, your stuff wasn't even on the front page of any music streaming service.
Like, you think Apple cares that you a rat? If you make your records move, they don't care. They gonna have you at the top.
Right. Title's on, but they always post every week, like first page, new albums out. But his wasn't one of the first albums that they showed either. Like, they didn't showcase his album. So,
nah.
But yeah, this is a slow week for the trolls. Slow week for the trolls.
It is a slow week. It is a slow week. But yeah, I had to start with Kanye because that was hilarious. Now, I guess
man. What is he?
Now you catching the pictures? Isn't it crazy? It's crazy as shit, right? You look at it and you be like, are you serious right now? Dude.
Stressing me out, man.
Dude.
It's stressing me out right
I'm
now.
telling you, like.
He's gonna what's Ray J's bikes? Scooty bikes? He's gonna ride across that next week. Right across the border in a Scooty bike.
Oh, I can't. I'll tell you right now. He bringing a vehicle to hop on that water. I'm done. I may have to go. It's gonna be the best show on TV. Are you serious?
I won't put it past him.
I wouldn't either. That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna try something. Scooty bike, horse, donkey, something.
He said donkey. Oh my goodness. He clearly at this point, I don't know if I guess he's just trolling us all, or maybe he really believes this shit. Either way, I just need less of him. Or maybe more. Yeah, it's entertaining and nothing else. I'm like, man, that man walked on water and with the church. Like, you can't say that about many people. You can say it about Kanye.
You can't say that about many people.
You can't. Like, get a man credit. Like, I'll give him some credit. Who else is doing that shit? Who else is doing that? I mean, who else is doing that? I mean, he walked on water and went to service. Jesus and Jesus. That should be a shirt. That should be a shirt in the Yeezy line. Cost you $185. Go ahead. Drop that shit next. Fucking Kanye.
He probably was going to do.
Yeah.
So
yeah. You gonna sell all that shit. It's all about making money.
Just let's get it to the playoffs.
Some basketball. Bucks.
So it's been a lot of the Bucks are done. Bucks just lost. They finished.
Just lost.
But it's been a lot of
NBA had it against them.
Oh, let's hear the theory, G. What's the theory?
Listen. They protested. NBA was like, "Y'all not about to get us like that." They called the worst last 5 minutes of the game I've seen in a long time.
I will say that it's been some terrible officiating,
man. And they supposed to be the home team.
Based on the monitors.
Based on the logos on the floor.
As of right now, the Magic's the only home team I see, but okay.
And they was pumping. They was pumping all that damn audience noise when they were shooting free throws. I'm like, damn. They shady as hell.
I think the NBA wants, I will say this. If you had to pick between the Miami population and the Milwaukee population, just based off sheer numbers, yeah, they probably don't want to see them win. But Giannis is still more entertaining than anybody on the Heat team. But I do think they want him to leave. They don't really want small market teams to exist. So I guess it's in theory, if y'all gonna protest and
they don't want them
have
to
a great
exist?
player, I don't. I mean, they don't. They don't want them to exist. I mean, they made the league like, oh, if you're a small market team, you can keep your players, but in reality, no one wants to stay in them small ass towns. No offense to them small ass towns, but no one wants to stay there. I mean, the Knicks is just the one dumb team that can't pull somebody. I mean, shit, Brooklyn pulled somebody. I'm just saying,
Two people.
The two top 5 free agents that were out at that year, probably 1 and 2. I mean, if Brooklyn can do it, the Lakers have been awful forever and can do it. That's how you know the Knicks are just bad at what they do. They should have lucked into 4 or 5 superstars at this point because it's New York. Why wouldn't you want to go there? Miami isn't as big, but I mean, bigger than Milwaukee. So I can't see them being a vendetta against them. But reality, the Bucks just they didn't play well.
They couldn't handle that A-tier superstar in Jimmy Butler.
Y'all threw shade at my man. He was like, "Listen, I got something for y'all."
And
Jimmy Buckets. Some respect on that man name.
Jimmy ain't had a good game since game 1.
Listen.
It was Tyler Hero's night tonight.
It's a team effort. That's what matters.
He always says that.
He got the worst turnovers I've ever seen in my life.
He definitely has those rookie Jay Wills turnovers. But he definitely but Jimmy Buck has been sitting there acting like he's the guy, and I haven't seen him be the guy. Besides one game.
He had like 2 games. He was the guy. Like 2.
Jimmy fits he's a good B or C guy. He ain't no A guy.
We said that, but I think I don't know, man. Here's the thing. They got to the conference finals, or they're at the conference finals now. I don't know if he gets to the finals. I don't know if we can say that. And honestly, who's beating them? Who can you look at and say definitively they're going to lose to them? Boston? They still feel young to me. They still feel a little green, which is kind of funny because they're the Celtics. But they still feel a little young to me. Like, Tatum's the guy, but
Boston has more firepower than Miami.
Of course, I'll give you that.
But you got to also remember Miami's kind of young too. Even though they got veterans, because like Bam is young, Hero's young,
Bam young, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Duncan is real young, yeah.
Right, they got a young team. Boston probably has more experience as far as playoff, because even though Tatum and Brown, all those guys are young, they've been deep in the playoffs already. So, once they'll probably end up beating Toronto, because Toronto has no superstar. Because Siakam is not that guy. He's a B guy.
And they talked him up like he was that guy. I was like, if Kawhi stays, you'll be great. Once he leaves, you'll be exposed. And he's not. He can't compete on that level. He just can't.
The backcourt has been good, but Siakam has been like off and on.
Yeah, very inconsistent.
So, I guess going out west, because you got Houston and LA. And I think Houston's actually going to win that series.
Really?
I do.
Interesting. You said what?
Yeah, I said
if they keep Rondo in the game, they for sure winning.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you ain't happy to see playoff Rondo with his braids.
Now I was saying, because what I was saying, everybody got hyped up on Lakers for beating Portland, but Portland was like half a team. And then, and they don't play defense.
At all.
Right. Houston
has like 3 guys that play defense, but it's more than Blazers have. Blazers have no guys that play defense. Whiteside a block a shot from time to time.
And right before we came on, like me and G was talking about, the Lakers bigs don't play big. So it's like you're not even really taking advantage of the small ball. Anthony Davis will post up a few times, but then he's going to start shooting jumpers, or like he did earlier tonight. He went up like on the perimeter, tried to cross up PJ Tucker.
You know what's crazy? You said that. I was listening to Stan Van Gundy because he's calling the game, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm happy with what I saw there. Instead of trying to post up the smaller guy, but they're smaller, but they're strong. It's better to face up and make a quick move." I was just like,
but they're not making quick moves.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
There's nothing worse than like first quarter, it's all right. You can guard the big man. Third quarter, fourth quarter, after they've been pounding you all game, it's like nothing worse than trying to guard a big man in the fourth quarter that's going to keep trying to pound you. And they're not even taking advantage of that. On paper, it looked like the Lakers. On paper, it looked like the Lakers should be destroying these boys because it don't make sense based on the height difference.
I don't understand that. I just didn't get that at all.
Yeah, I knew that before the series, though, that they were going to have a problem because Houston has great guards.
They do.
They move the ball around. They shoot threes, and Lakers are going to play big. Lakers don't really move the ball that much, and Lakers aren't a great defensive team. And the way Houston plays defense, it ain't like Portland where the bums are just getting open shots all game. The role guys, they just got open shots all game. So, of course, they were going to start hitting because nobody's guarding. But Houston plays a little bit better defense, and Houston had confidence going in. I think they lost on purpose so they can duck the Clippers in the second round and play the Lakers because they feel they can beat the Lakers. Because
they should feel like that. Earlier. They should feel like that. You're playing against a team that doesn't shoot the ball particularly well. You guys essentially are, a much better shooting team. You play a little bit more defense. And really, LeBron and AD have to be great every game to really dominate the series. So if they're not dominating and they're supposedly two of the top 5 guys in the game, in the league, if they have to dominate and they can't every night, and you figure like Harden looks at himself as like, I'm a top 2 guy. I'm a top 3 guy, so I'm going to get it off a couple of games at least. So I do think it's funny how, because it's LeBron and it's Lakers, they're being pegged as almost, the Lakers can play. LeBron said the Lakers can play so many different ways. I was thinking like, how many ways is that? You motherfuckers can't shoot. How many ways can you play? You can't shoot. You gonna play. You gonna try hard basketball, which is fine. But what else are you about to do? We're gonna run small ball with 8,000 bigs. How? Like, how can you play so many ways? I hate, and that's just like that LeBron like kiss ass shit. Like LeBron said, they could play a lot of different ways, and I agree. But like the Rockets could only play one way. The Rockets have a team identity. They know who they are, and at least they can play that efficiently. What the fuck is a team identity for the Lakers? You have 2 great players. It's not an identity. That's 2 great players, like, which may get it done, but it's not different ways to play and shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's funny that you bring up like how much people say LeBron can do all these things, and it brought up a quick. It was like a big debate this week about Kawhi and LeBron, and everybody, because Kawhi had a game where he didn't score in the 4th.
You almost went at Shannon Sharp.
You got to get beat up on Twitter.
It was some people that came, but more people agree with me than I thought. But it's still the whole thing of, the LeBron fans are sitting there saying, how come nobody jumping on Kawhi? Like they jump on LeBron when he scores 0 or has a bad 4th quarter or whatever. And, I was basically saying that Kawhi doesn't really say much. He doesn't really make excuses when he loses. And nobody really says anything when he has a good game.
No. No, except for like 2 or 3 announcers that are like, man, he was amazing. Everybody's like, oh, Kawhi, why he get finals MVP? What do you do? I don't get it.
Right.
All right.
Kawhi has a good game, and it's not going to be the first topic on Skip and Shannon or on First Take. Or
it's going to be who else had a bad game or who else had a slightly worse game, but we're going to talk about that in a sec. And it's because he's not a guy that trends. LeBron trends. Good or bad, he trends. Harden, to a lesser extent, trends. Other guys trend. Kawhi gives nothing to the media. He's not a personality. Even his commercial, which is meant to be all serious, looks boring as fuck. It's just who he is. Like, I'm sure there's some great sneakers, but I don't want them. And that's cool. And that's who he is. But that don't trend. And since he don't trend, no one gives a fuck. It's just like, all right.
New Balance?
You want them easy slippers, though?
No, I don't want those either. But it trends more than them damn New Balance, which is sad.
I don't know. I might buy Kawhi's before I buy the Yeezy slides.
Well, the Yeezy slides cost like $500, and you can make them yourself. So, like, why would you do that?
Look like a school project.
Like a kid. North was like, Dad, I made slippers. He was like, that's a new Yeezy prototype right there.
That's the Yeezy.
Take it to market. You're like, are you serious? He said, I said, do it. Jesus told me. All right. Well,
that's what he walked on water in.
That's what he Yo, it makes sense because it's probably waterproof and you're not have your socks wet. That makes perfect sense. You wore the Yeezy slides. They all got Yeezy slides on. See, he knew what he was thinking. He said, I'm going to be perfect. Sunday service, Yeezy slippers. Bam. Now my feet are dry. It wicks away the moisture. He was smart about it.
Yeah. You know what was funny, though? Going back to the LeBron thing, I was watching Nick Wright today, and he was obviously saying Kawhi had a bad 4th quarter yesterday, even though he really didn't, even though he didn't really shoot well in the 4th, but he didn't have a bad 4th quarter. I watched the game. And the guy that's on the show, I always forget his name, the new white guy they have on the show. And he said, when LeBron has a bad game, Nick Wright says, Well, he controlled the whole game with his mind. He wanted to lose the game on purpose.
We can make a podcast alone on just the ridiculous things that LeBron supporters say and do. And it would probably be the best show ever because there's just so much shit.
And you know what? They don't believe that they say ridiculous things.
Never.
That's why they come with me. I get into an argument with LeBron fan at least once a week. And I don't even say anything crazy about it. So it's like
LeBron's not the greatest of all time. How could you say that? You're ridiculous. You're a hater.
Right. You're a hater.
Really?
You're Skip Bayless.
All right. All right, my guy. That's how you feel.
Look, I just want the Lakers to lose because I can't stand Danny Green being on the court at all.
Me either. Danny Green is the guy that you hate because he won't hit a shot all game, all series, and then he'll hit one that they need at the right time.
And he'll keep that title that title as a marksman and a great shooter and a clutch shooter.
Right.
Hit one clutch shot out of 100, but it was needed. Right. So cool.
And it's on whatever team he's on. It ain't even like because he's playing with LeBron. It's on whatever team he's on. He's had a pretty consistent fall since the Spurs, and even there it was like he had some games and some series where he just disappeared. But when you got Hall of Famers all around with a Hall of Fame coach, let me figure that shit out. Yeah, but you would think, why is he breaking 3-point records in the finals? This guy, you don't even remember him the entire playoffs. You know what I mean?
That is true.
It makes him annoying. You know what I mean? Just that's like people. Just like people hate Patrick Beverly.
It's my guy.
Yeah, Pat Bev be getting so much hate because he called Jokic and he said Luka prepared him from Joker because they both flail around all day.
They do both flail. They do both flail a lot. That's actually a fact.
They be dogging. See, that's why I don't like listening to people talk about defenders or defensive players because Pat Bev, he be getting roasted a lot. But they don't realize if you play a D 100% every play, you gonna get roasted a lot. That's just, it's an offensive game. So all these people that you don't see get roasted is because they just standing around doing nothing, just kind of playing this upside D.
Did you see who was it? Jokic, not this game, but last game. They had who they had? They had Draymond Green on. And he was like, yo, you need more from your bigs. He pulled out 4 clips of Jokic not even trying to play defense. Yep. He was like, here he is right here. And you see Jokic put an arm up. And I'm like, he's going to the basket. You're the center. He would just be like,
He do the thing where he's scared to get dunked on.
Dude, he covered up. He covered up on layups. He was like, and doing a finger roll. I was like,
and watching the series, the Clippers, the turnover they piss me off the most with is when they go and they attack Jokic and then try to dump it off and then it gets stolen.
Run at him.
He's not going to block the shot.
He's just big. He's just big for no reason. He's not going to do anything.
He's not going to block the shot.
Green literally, he pulled out 4 clips of every time a driver came in, it was just like, no, I'm going to switch. He literally on one switched he switched to double a guy and let the lane open. I was like, what? I was like, dude. But yeah, to your point, G, if you play defense hard, you're going to get your ankles caught once or twice. You're going to stumble back. You're going to get caught. It's going to happen if you are 100% committed all the time. But then on the other side, Jokic never does, but he's probably one of the worst defending centers I've ever seen, maybe ever.
And they won't ever give Pat Bev his flowers for the big plays he makes on defense. Yesterday, he had 2 big steals.
2 in a row.
2 in a row on Porter and I think it was Jamal Murray. Just lock up. Don't even.
His game's not pretty. His game not pretty. He talks too much shit. He ain't Chris Paul with 100 commercials. So he not gonna get that kind of credit, which is it sucks. If you like ball and you know what good defense looks like, you guys should be happy to that dude. That's the one of those guys that talk about where you hate to have him on the opponent's team, but you want him on your team because he's going to piss somebody off. And that's what you want out of a good defender. Pitbull mentality, man. Get in your face. I respect that.
Yeah, do y'all hate the Clippers like everybody else do? Because apparently online, the only player that people like is Kawhi. They hate everybody else on the Clippers.
I don't hate them. I don't see a reason to hate them.
They hate Marcus Morris. They hate hate playoff P.
I love Morris. That dude can be on my team any day. Smacking dudes in the face. Hey, right, I'm saying he come back.
He was
smacking people with the ball in the head. Like, sit down, bro. That dude's a baller. I would take him right now over most of the team except maybe Mitch. Anybody else can go. We get him back. Nah, man.
What's the name? I read that number one priority for the Knicks. I know you don't want to hear no Knicks talk, G.
Oh, but we gonna get there. We gonna get there. Trading Randall.
Trading Randall. Nothing made me happier than seeing that news.
I was like, we're already on the right path. We are already on the right path.
What's you call Randall? Zion, poor man Zion.
Poor man Zion.
That's what Maul from the Joe Budden podcast called him. He said, "Why would you draft Zion when you got Julius Randle?" What?
Oh my God! They sports takes be just off. He be talking, he be like, "What? Shut the fuck up!"
Like, we don't even want Julius Randle. You just the only guy that will come.
Dude, seriously, you can already tell it was just like all right, dude, how much you want? Sign this shit, man.
Right.
Let's go.
And it's only
you can just tell.
Right, 2 years, like you could deal with that because he'll be gone.
They knew he was gonna be gone. It's fucking like Julius Randle.
It shouldn't be hard to either because he got an expiring contract. So,
I mean, the one deal I like that I heard him talking about was him for Conley and like draft considerations or draft picks potentially. I would take that. Conley has an expiring contract. It frees up some money because they want to extend Donovan now. So it frees up some money to do that. Then they got to probably follow up and extend Gobert next year. Although I'd prefer them to just give us Donovan and let us take care of his extension. I don't think they're going to do that shit.
Yeah, I would prefer that. But
I would prefer like, hey, I want Randall, Frank, and RJ for Donovan Mitchell. I'd take that.
Yeah, I'd give them that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, so y'all on crack? No thanks. We're gonna keep them.
Right.
But nah, they made that trade for Randall. I mean, he's not good. I wish I had more. He just, if he was a better shooter, maybe. But he just spacing is awful.
If you watch Knick games, you would have been like, yo, every time he touches the ball, you're like, yo, just please pass it.
Bad things happen.
You know what he's about, especially in the clutch.
I watched the New Orleans enough. I know how he go.
Oh, right. So do you know 100 spin moves? He gonna try to force up the most ugliest layups. It never feels comfortable or natural. There's just like, what's that clip from Patrick Ewing? Did you practice that shot? Did you practice that shot? Every shot he puts up, I'm just like, do you practice that? Why does it look like that every time? It don't ever look fluid. You don't ever get to your spot and do your move. It's a new move every time, except for the 100 spin moves. There's 100 spin moves regardless, and usually a turnover.
Yep. So, but yeah, any other NBA news guys want to touch on? Billy Donovan got fired.
Did he? Really? I don't think he should have got fired. I mean, maybe he should have.
I think it was time. I don't think it was time.
They was probably trying to get rid of him last year.
I mean, they outperformed. I think he outperformed with that roster, I would say. But
yeah, he keeps losing in the first round, so I think that's what kills him.
Yeah,
it's almost like, okay, it doesn't matter what we give you, you can't get out the first round.
They seem like they
make it though.
Yeah, they get in the playoffs. I think he's a great defensive coach, but his offense, probably could do some work. And then he loves, I don't know what it is about OKC, but they love these guys like Dort and Roberson who play defense but can't shoot. So it's like he's not really giving you anything.
Like, I don't know how. I mean, I guess off sheer athleticism, you can make it, but how do you get into the NBA and you can't even like spot up jumpers? It just seems weird. Like, you can't shoot at all. Like, you figure, all right, you're not the best shooter, but at some point, you get a spot. Like PJ Tucker, I'm gonna get to these corners, bro. Like, yo, find me. I'm gonna hit this. How do you just never? Job. You said what?
Right.
Especially if that's like your full-time job.
Right. All you gotta do is go to the gym, work out, ball. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
And like all the great defenders, that's one thing I'm noticing. Like PJ Tucker, even Pat Beverly, like they can at least make that corner three. Like that's what they do. But OKC gets guys, and it doesn't matter how long they're there, they can never make the corner three. Like they had to start making Roberson go for lobs because he couldn't make the corner three.
And that's what it's crazy, dude. Because that's the first thing that you would think. Little 18 foot in the corner, like, yo, hit that. Like, that's not. I mean, you will, especially if you are a guard or like a small forward, like point guard. If you can't hit that shot, you're almost unplayable for more than a couple minutes at a time. And you better be on a team that has a bunch of guys that can shoot, or you'll be out the league. That's why I do worry about like RJ, for example, because if you can't shoot, even in like spot up corner situations, don't nobody need 8 rebounds from a small forward every night. I need jumpers, bro. I need you to be able to shoot and stretch the floor. Great defense and rebounding is awesome, but you can't stay forever doing just that. It just ain't gonna happen.
Right. So any other news? NBA?
I mean,
nope.
I'm just surprised that you said you would think the Lakers are gonna lose. I would like that.
I think the Lakers.
I just don't know.
Lose. I have the Lakers losing in 6.
So okay, they're playing tonight. Are they winning tonight?
Yes, they're gonna win tonight.
Ooh, give me a score.
If the Lakers win tonight, they win in the series. You tripping?
112.
Hey, I agree. You said 102, 107?
That's 112, 107.
112, 107. I tend to agree with G. If they win tonight and they go up 2-1, they not losing the series. So,
but that's the thing. I don't think the Lakers are going to go up 2-1. I don't think they're going to go up 2-1.
So if they win today, do you change your prediction?
Houston, no. Houston has too much confidence, and it's not that. And people going to think like because they think like I hate LeBron, which I don't. I just think Houston just plays their style. You know, styles make fights. I just think Houston's style doesn't work well for the Lakers.
Yeah, I don't
think it's a good line for the Lakers.
I agree. Yeah. Watching these games, I just, it just don't make sense what the Lakers are doing to try to stop Houston, because it's like, first of all, you're putting Danny Green on Harden, right? That's already L. Then everybody that guards Harden is reaching. It's like, Harden has been doing this for about 4 or 5 years now.
Just like he had not watched the scouting report?
Yeah, like stay in front of him. You're not going to get the ball from him if you reach. You're wasting time and drawing fouls. They're not.
Right.
Yeah. And
the thing is, they won, like the game they won, Westbrook didn't even play well. And you had like 2 good games from LeBron and AD. So it's just like, if Westbrook gives you...
If he gives you his career, his season averages, they're probably down already. I mean, he was like abysmal. He was like Rondo in the finals versus the Lakers abysmal. Like Kobe was like, "Go ahead, bro, have 20 feet of space."
He was like that terrible. But tonight already, like he's playing much better.
Hit a 3 early already. Hit a mid-range jumper already. He's streaky. He get cooking early, it's over.
Yeah,
because he gonna get to the paint and get 10 easy buckets, or get 10 points easy on just transition and getting into the paint. You give him 2 threes, nah, you're in trouble already.
Right. It's
AD, man, he always on the ground for a big man. Like, it legit worrisome.
Legit worrisome.
I seen him get like somebody reached and he got slapped in the mouth and he fell like to the ground the other day. I'm like, what is wrong with you, man? Like, you ain't got no chin.
He said, you ain't got no chin.
Like, so I was really looking like, yo, like it ain't even. You fell off of that? Like he grabbed his mouth and like hit the ground. I'm like, you okay though? Like,
no, he's not.
You do know people from Chicago don't really claim AD.
Come on,
yo,
that's my man hometown like that, man.
That's foul. That's foul. But you know what? He's not lying. No one be out to be like, yo, he from Chicago, like with D Rose and even Wade. Don't nobody do the fake. Right. Where he from? New Orleans. He from New Orleans.
I bet you this. I bet you they claim Pat Bev before they claim Anthony Davis.
Real shit.
They ain't got no choice. Pat Bev was working out in Tim's in the sand.
Right. It ain't real unless he was. It ain't real unless you put the Tim's on. That's what he said.
Yeah. Do a defensive slides in Tim's.
In the same. It ain't real until you put the Tim's on.
Oh, no. Real. It's okay, AD. You get a title this year, probably.
Like, AD's too much of a finesse big for Chicago. Like, they don't condone his behavior.
They don't condone his behavior?
Yeah, and when you look at his high school career, like, he didn't win in high school. Like, he went to, like, a performing arts school, and he didn't really win that many games.
Really?
How? They didn't. You can look it up. Like, his high school was terrible. You know, like, he ain't got no state championship. He ain't have none of that.
That's interesting. Maybe that's why he kind of does that beta shit sometimes. Maybe he just not used to being that guy. Or maybe he just is a beta. Because all the other guys have like accolades in high school. I mean, usually when you have a one superstar in high school, it's like giving you the best in your city, state. Like when you that kind of talent.
He's like that. He's like that type of talent, but he's always been like a big. Even Kentucky, when they won the national championship, you know, the first half, everybody's looking to him. You're the man, but he wasn't hitting shots. And he said, you know, and I get the whole team thing or whatever, but he told the guys, man, you guys just shoot. I'll just play defense. I'm not hitting tonight. I'm like, dude, you still the leader of the team. Like, you should say like, right? You supposed to be like, I just play. You're not supposed to say I'm just going to play defense. You know what I mean? Like, you're still supposed to be like, okay, you know, guys, you know, I'm a little off, hit shots, but I'm not going to stop shooting. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be like playing against Thomas Robinson. Like, why are you not shooting against him?
That's fair. He wasn't. That's fair.
You know what I mean? I'm off tonight against Thomas Robinson. What?
I mean, he was a formidable force. And
I like Thomas Robinson, but Thomas Robinson was nothing but a Morris twin without a jumper.
I just think it's funny whenever I think of like Candace Owens that she's become this voice of the black people or black conservatives. And she talks down to Cardi like, oh, well, why anybody listen to you? And you just do this and do that. Like, y'all realize that Candace has no credentials at all. None. Not anything. Not even a degree. Not even a bachelor's degree. And it's like, you and Cardi no. This is what is mind-boggling about why anybody looks at her as an authority on anything. She went to school for journalism in Connecticut. Did not finish. She has no degree, but she's written books and she speaks at functions and she's this voice for the GOP. And I'm just like, why? Who the fuck cares what you have to say? And she started out being liberal. I knew Go figure that. And then switched over. And it's funny how she switched over to being conservative and then became popular. I wonder why that is. But like, I just found it funny they were going back and forth. If you watch Cardi's like responses, she was like, you condone all of this bullshit. She pulled out the clip of her, I guess her sister getting harassed at the beach or whatever. And then she pulled out actually how it's funny when Candace went back and used her as a example of people who are like free thinkers and whatever. So I'm like, so because she don't rock with your side, now it's like F you and you ain't good for women and this and that. So it was interesting, I thought. And I'm with Juji. When Cardi speaks, I'm always kind of just like, what are you going to say? Like, what's your point? All right, cool. But she's usually pretty on point from those things.
I was going to say that because Cardi, like, you understand her points. She just doesn't articulate them well.
Right.
So it's like you kind of get what she's saying.
I mean, that's...
Like, you get what she's... Like,
well, you need that.
It ain't like... Yeah, she's not dumb. Like, Cardi B never struck me as... Even when she was just Instagram famous, she never struck me as dumb. Like, stuff she was saying, like, if you can get past how she's saying it, makes sense. But, you know, she hasn't really changed that much. So it's just like, you know, like, to me, she sounded more intelligent than when T.I. was debating with Candace Owens.
Yeah, he just get angry. Yeah, T.I. just he
sound like you're saying some bullshit. Like, what are you talking? Like,
you're T.I.
Like,
T.I. was killing me with that shit, yo. He was just angry the whole time when she was on the panel. I was just like, if you as smart as you claim to be, like, debate then. Don't just be like, that's some bullshit. All right, bro, I hear you. Like, I
actually had to go watch the debate, and it was like she was making more points than he was. It was like,
he was. It was scary. I was like, you're not helping us right now. You hurting. Right. You really hurting right now.
And that's why I hate people like her, though. And I hate people that are not educated enough to like understand what she's doing. Because she'll use real facts and she'll leave out just enough so it kind of fits her point. And, you know, her going that, because I thought, right, didn't she like first try to like retweet Cardi B or something to say Cardi B was agreeing with her or something like that?
I think that's how it started initially, yeah.
So she does that, and then you get these dumb people that just look at it and be like, well, I guess 13% of black people do kill 90% of everybody, so. All right, man.
Yeah, she actually smoked Mark Lamont Hill on a debate.
Yeah.
Like,
so that was on her show, right?
Yeah. And I thought, like, I'm sitting there thinking, like, Mark Lamont, I thought you were smarter than this dude. Like, she's smoking you, like, on every topic.
I don't think he was prepared.
And it's like...
he was not prepared.
He wasn't, but it was still like, it's like G was saying, like, she'll give facts, but not all the facts. Nah, and all you have to do to counter her argument is just give her all the facts, and she'll have nothing to say.
There's one, what does she do? Either she tweeted it or somebody like her tweeted out something about Planned Parenthood was designed by the Democrats to kill black babies. Some stupid shit like that she said. And I was like, okay, let's look into this. The creator of Planned Parenthood was out to kill black people. And like they give a quote. And of course it's out of context. But if you pull the thread, go read all of this shit, you're like, wait, no, that's not what happened. That's not what was being said. But again, on the surface, if you in a debate situation, if she drops 10 facts on you like that, you kind of just suck saying like, well, let me Google real quick. Let me go research real quick. And that's why like I've looked into some of what she said. I'm just like, again, it's funny that you said what?
But I was saying, but she knows the audiences now because a lot of people aren't going to go and do that research.
Nope, they're going to see it and be like, cool, that's it.
She has a buzzword talking points and she knows that it's going to get a reaction and she knows people are going to have to respond to some bullshit and they're not going to have a chance to actually get to their real point. And that's what happened to Mark Lamont, like you were saying, because she kept throwing stuff at him and then she's like, well, can you answer that? And he didn't have an answer. So he just looked stupid sitting there in front of her, right? And that was pretty much most of the whole conversation was her throwing out these random ass facts that he literally had to reply with, I have to go look at that because I'm not aware of those stats and shit like that.
Right.
Like, that's what those conservatives do.
Yeah. You know, they're mostly, and even if you, And some of them are so, the talking points are so stupid. If you just have a little common sense, it's easy to debunk their arguments. But, you know, a lot of people don't really think that quickly, or they're not going to go in there prepared. Like most of the people, especially people on Twitter or on social media, they just read headlines and they're not going to really read the articles, or they're not really going to read, you know, any type of information, or even go to look for more than one source of info before they give an opinion or whatever. So, you know, people like Candace, I mean, I can see why she does what she does, because she knows most people just don't read.
I really think to quote Cardi B and her dude, she does this shit for clout. And I think that's what makes me upset, because she's always been on this stage, but she was never on this side and when she became the conservative version of what she is now, she got the heat. And I think that's what kills you. If you go online, and I've seen a lot of it recently, this black conservative wave, it's crazy how take that same exact person, put it to a liberal talking points, they got 1,000 followers. As soon as you start cooning for the other side, it's like, yo, my man got 135,000 followers. I'm just like, how?
Yeah, because when you
realize all of them, oh my God, you're so great for American people, are all about it. And I'm like, it's crazy how the support is real when you jump sides. It's wild.
Yeah, when you actually really think about it, you look at Candace Owens, some of her talking points are definitely pro-black. And you know some of the stuff she says, it's like, you know, you don't believe that. But this is what you know what I mean? But this is what making you money right now. This was giving you a career. And this is what giving you, you know, attention and followers and all that stuff. So you ride with it. You know, that's what a lot of people do.
I mean, Kanye, man worth $3 billion. You gonna ride the wave. All right. Some people don't care. I can't do it. I can't shuck and jive like that. I can't. It ain't in me. But some people can, and get your coin up. But I ain't gonna take you seriously, because you just saying shit to say shit. I don't believe what you're saying, and neither do you. But that check is real.
Right.
That makes it real enough, I guess.
Yeah, that seems to be, just from what I'm seeing in all the ads and all that stuff, that seems to be what they're trying to do, is kind of amplify the vocal minority and try to make it seem like there's all these black and Latino conservatives coming out the woodwork announcing Democrats, and this just fits into the narrative. I mean, you saw, y'all, I don't know if y'all watched the RNC or watched any clips from it, but like some of that stuff is like, it's insane that you can get away with saying that on TV without like getting arrested. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's
like,
crazy.
No jokes, no laughing. Like some of the shit.
It's crazy.
Like, how can you say that and not have like a fact checker immediately come on and say this is not true?
I mean, it's you know what it is? It's the stage has been set by our fucking president to just say whatever you want, call out shit as being fake. I mean, like they were talking about it before. Some of the things that are talked about in the RNC, there's such like a, oh my God, like if Biden's elected, you know, the world's gonna end. And you know, they're gonna murder everybody. They're gonna come to your house and smack your kids around. It's gonna happen. They really want it to happen. But we have Biden on tape. He told us that. What the fuck are you talking about?
They know their audience. Like you got.
They know they're gonna eat it up, and that's what's scary. People believe that shit, which is insane.
Yo, I should be able to, like, when Biden get elected and it don't happen, I should be able to go and punch everybody in their face, just one good one, and they got to accept it.
First executive order: all daughters get punched in the face. No retaliation allowed by law.
You got to remember, these are a lot of, like, the audience that they're talking to are people that have literally drunk bleach because Trump said so.
It's gonna disinfect the coronavirus. What? Oh God, people are retarded.
So it's like I'm working with an audience that literally will believe anything I tell them. I said drink bleach.
And you said bleach. No fact check, no second opinion, no. Are you sure? All right, just go on and do it. Like, all right, well, that's where we live in. It's just scary. That's why I like Cardi, because even though she's not the most articulate, she say it was real to her, and she ain't gonna fall for no bullshit. I can respect that. If nothing else, I can respect that.
She said, just like I can make 1 million people pop their pussies, I can make 1 million people go vote.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? She right. She got a more powerful platform than Candace. I mean, fuck what you think.
Right. And that's why, and people would say that sentence and think she's stupid, but she makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. And clearly, I mean, look at her platform. She says some shit that's going on.
Right. I have that type of influence. So
at least she understands that she's not using it for bullshit. I can give her that.
Right.
Pop some pussy and go vote. Whatever. Make the world a better place.
I'm reading these right. She was dogging Candace. Damn.
Yeah. She came at her. She came at her hard. She was like, I ain't with this shit.
Oh, you did all this work for Trump and they ain't let you talk at the convention?
Nope. Did not. She came at her. Well, I guess is it time? Is it time?
Yeah,
it's time.
Is it time for your boy? Oh man,
it is time.
I mean,
before I let out the news I got before we got on that I saw, right? Joe Budden has been in trouble like the last couple weeks because he had a Tahiri thing.
Tahiri first.
He kind of slid under the, he kind of got away with the Tahiri thing because, everybody said, okay, was she doing this for clout? This is all old information. They were just on Love and Hip Hop together, blah, 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 blah. So he kind of skated off with that. And then he went on his whole rant, calling her toxic and claiming he never hit her, which is clear. He even made a song about it where he mentioned when he broke her ribs. She said he broke her ribs. So, but I guess that kind of skated past people.
Oh.
So this week, a leaked phone call between Sin Santana and Joe came out where Joe allegedly doesn't pay his child support like he should. Joe also apparently stalked and chased Sin and dragged Sin, according to the phone call. He did not deny anything on this phone call. I'm pretty sure he didn't know he was being recorded. And I think she's probably using that for court at some point. And then there was court documents that came out with even more disturbing behavior, which was pretty much stuff that Tahiri and Stan and Esther Baxter, you just pick her ex-girlfriend, has said about him. But the most strange thing on there was that he jacks off his dog, which was weird. And what made it funny, people pulled up the clip of him talking on the podcast about jacking off his dog. And I actually remember.
No, there's not a clip of that. There's not a clip of that.
It's a clip. I actually remember him saying that. But my thing was, like, everybody else probably thought he's joking. And apparently he's not. So here's...
I'm done.
And then up to, and that's all the information that was out. And then right before I got on, I seen a clip from Andrew Schultz's podcast, and he says he has a super reliable source. And he said at Spotify, the reason why he didn't get the deal at Spotify is because he asked for $250 million.
Yes. Yes. That's why they told you to get the fuck out. That makes sense. That makes sense now. They're like, you want how much? Oh, you get the fuck out. Right. We're not paying you that.
Andrew Schultz told on his little clip that I saw, he said once he found that information, everybody needs to just shut up about, because everybody's saying Joe is right and blah, 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 blah. He's looking for a deal like The Ringer has, but The Ringer has like 30 podcasts. Like,
that's one thing that that's what, like, I got mad because, like, in regards to the whole Joe Budden podcast, we'll talk about that for a second because this jacking off his dog shit is way funnier. But I will at least go to this for a second. One thing they said was, I think Charlamagne may have said this, and like again, I think Charlamagne's a big ass troll too. Like I get it, but he was saying how you can't really negotiate as if you're a network because you produce one podcast. You can have 300 episodes, but how much of that's just being listened to over and over again? A lot is based off what's going on at the time. It's not like it has replay value like that, but you're still one production team making one type of thing. You can't compare yourself to somebody who makes a company that makes 10 podcasts or 5 shows just because you do numbers. Like, that's not how it works. And he tried, and I guess he responded to Charlamagne trying to shut him down and shit. Like, we not having the same fight and we're different. And I'm just like, I mean, in essence, he just said you got to negotiate better. And I think that's fair.
Literally, like maybe 30 episodes ago, he was just arguing with Maul about how you gotta negotiate for the market. Like they was just arguing about that when they were talking about what are those that white girl podcast, whatever that was. They were talking about
Amy Schumer.
How they should negotiate for the market. Like it don't matter what you feel like you, all that stuff, right? It don't matter what you feel like you work, you just gotta negotiate for the market. And then he comes out and do something like that. Like the dude is
he's insane. And that's the thing that like people don't realize. That's why I always was leery of people, because I mean, I know how to separate the person from their work, but I never understood why people actually thought he was really smart. Like I always thought he was a nut job, which clearly is. So if you sit there talking about your value and you want $250 million for one podcast that you twice a week with no ads, then like
the stuff that was coming out that he like to not do ads, like why would somebody want to continue working with you?
Right.
I mean, most of the revenue is, I mean, the biggest deals anywhere are oftentimes based on ad revenue. What the fuck else am I paying money for?
All you got to do is what Joe Rogan does. Joe Rogan put the ads in the front. You know it's going to be 10 minutes long every time. You skip the first 10 minutes. They get their money. You don't get bothered by the ads. Everybody happy.
Right. He doesn't do that. Like he wants, you know, and this is alleged, but I believe it. He wants $250 million and you don't even want ads. Like you're just trying to just take all the money. What am I getting out of this if I'm Spotify? Because
he wants to get paid to chill in his boy's living room and talk shit for a year for $250 million. That's what he wants.
And one thing I noticed in the podcast when he was going on his rant, he always mentioned his first year numbers. He never mentioned the second year numbers, which to me means his numbers probably dropped. It probably did from the first year. So Spotify is looking at it like, okay, I don't see. We're offering you a lot of money already, and I don't really see an increase in your audience or listeners or viewers. Because the other thing he's failing to mention, he might be number one on Spotify, but that's the only platform he's on. Every other podcast is on multiple platforms. They're not just on Spotify. So it's like I only got to go to Spotify to hear Joe Budden podcast. Like,
I guess he technically does YouTube, which I mean, and that's the other thing too. He's making money on YouTube, I'm sure, because those have ads.
But he's asking for like Joe Rogan type money. He doesn't even get Joe Rogan YouTube numbers.
Right. Like, he's not for like the biggest people on YouTube. He's got like, I think 900,000 right now. There's like nobodies in terms of like, that don't have his initial platform that have 1 million, 2 million, 7 million, 8 million. And they're probably not getting 250 for that. So I don't know why he would get it. And he's a known entity and still. And again, those people have 100 ads in all their shit. Every 5 minutes, you're watching somebody commercial for something, no matter what you want.
He's stuck on this idea that he literally pioneered podcasting, not realizing the shit been here for 10 years, right?
Right.
Like he may have pioneered a specific genre, and let's face it, like this genre isn't something that is something that everybody's going to watch, right? This is hip hop heads that's going to watch this, right? So he's sitting there, he pioneered a whole era of podcasting, he thinks he's the first person to ever do a live show and podcast. Like the dude is delusional. Like he doesn't.
That's real.
That's the biggest thing
out here.
Right. That's the biggest thing that I always think about when it comes to Joe is he's literally delusional. So when you think even with his Complex deal, it's like they said the same thing. He came in there asking for outrageous request that you're not like your show ain't that popular. Like people watch it, but it ain't what you think it is. And he's sitting there thinking like I deserve Oprah money for my show.
Like know the network. Know the network. Just know the market. Know what you really can go ask for. And if you take your pride out of it and you come into it like, all right, reasonably what makes sense. Always push for your money. I'm not telling you that. But I hate that it seems like because he's so in his own head, you can't tell him shit. But like I said, normally, when somebody tries to make some shit, I'm just like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm talking about. But I'm like, no, like, negotiate for what you should negotiate for. And if they don't give it to you, fuck it. Find another way. But they don't bitch about it on top of that. Like, they're insane. Well, show your work, nigga. Like, why should you get explain that to me.
And that's why you're getting all the conspiracy theories that Spotify put people up to this to leak all the audio and the court documents and everything like that, because one thing he loves doing is burning bridges. So it's like
about to say that.
Like he kept saying he wasn't doing, by the way. For the last 2 weeks, he kept saying that I ain't burning no bitches.
Right. You've been disrespecting Spotify for like 2 weeks, like on your show. And then it's like you couldn't just respectfully say no, and I'm going to look elsewhere for another deal. Like you've been disrespecting them. So I'm not sure with all this conspiracy stuff, but
they probably did leak it, but it don't mean he didn't do it. Stop jacking off your dog. Stop having that shit on paper for somebody to go pull out on you. Like something. You can't talk shit if you know on paper you've been jacking off your dog and somebody knows. You need to shut up and play ball.
He probably doesn't even think that. He probably doesn't even think like that it's on file. Like, and listen.
I would think about this shit every day. Why did I do that?
When you read the document, he describes of why he jacks off his dog because, and in quotes, the dog doesn't have any bitches around.
Yeah.
So,
real quote.
Real quote. Like,
I mean, listen. Is this crazy though? Does he have a point? His dog don't got no chicks. What are you gonna do?
What's that got to do with him? What's that got to do with the dog?
I mean,
it's a dog.
I refuse to believe this nigga justified it.
Right.
If you're doing it, you justifying it. Because otherwise, why you doing it? You have a reason ready to go. If somebody is like, yo, why you doing that? Because, man, what you want me?
When I read it, the first thing I thought of was like, what was he thinking the first time he did it? Like, what would make you what would make you try that? Like, you know what I mean? What is
if you so for you people that haven't had a dog, they do say okay, try to be serious. Okay. They do say you have a dog, right? If you don't neuter them, it is an urge that they'll always have. And it's like, so Cesar Millan, he always says, neuter your dog unless you're going to let them stud, because it's an energy they'll never be able to release. and they'll try to like run away, and they smell a dog in heat. They'll try to go find her. So I can understand, like, that's why you get your dog neutered. I mean, I guess he just felt like I ain't want to cut my man balls off, but I want to give him a release. So
why would you feel that's your job?
I mean, you gonna pay somebody to come in there, and then you gotta have a witness to this shit?
I'm not doing it at all. You just have to hit the streets. Find the lady.
He'll have to hit this. Now, here's the thing. At the same time, Joe has enough money. He could have just bought a female dog. So, He could have just bought a dog and been like, here you go, bro.
There's so many other options.
There's a lot of other options than what he did. Yes. Joe Weird.
If you would do that to a dog, there's other things that you probably would do.
There's other things that you have done. This is not even this ain't the first weird thing you done did, Joe. You beating off your dog.
And here's the thing, and this is what makes it funny, especially if y'all get a chance, y'all go watch DJ Academics rant against Maul and Rory. That might have been some of the funniest YouTube TV that I have ever seen in my life. Him coming at Maul and Rory for an hour.
Why don't they like each other? What happened to that anyway? Why it seems like they don't like. I'm new to the whole podcast beef game. I can see why a lot of niggas don't like Ack. Honestly, because he's a troll and he best buddy for 6ix9ine. So I can see a lot of reasons why, but why in particular for this?
I don't know, but it was funny.
Fair enough.
He is not. He was coming at Rory and Maul for a good hour. And it's just funny. He called them bums for an hour.
That's fair.
How much money they make, how they work for Joe.
That's also fair. These are fair points so far.
How Rory was in a fraternity, and in academics were shimmying like a motherfucker as soon as somebody presses play.
I really wonder how he done brainwashed them, or how do they feel about knowing that if he really did ask for that, like what is the behind the scenes arguments that's going on?
And that's the thing that academics was saying. He said academics was like Joe didn't even let you in the room when he negotiates with them. And
that's foul too. Although I don't think he feels like they're an essential part of the podcast. I don't think he looks at it and thinks, I need you.
And that's what academics was saying. That's why I guess Rory or somebody said something about academics, and academics went on a rant about Rory and Maul and how worthless they are. And he said, and he basically went and Maul said Maul is just some nigga's brother.
I mean, in all honesty, they don't necessarily. I mean, if you watch the podcast, right? There's 8 niggas in the room. If you took out Maul and Rory and just rotated the niggas, would you really? Does he have a point? I mean, maybe.
And that's what he was saying. That's what he was saying the whole time.
You rotate 2 other niggas in. It's like black dude, white dude. All right.
Watch it. It's literally he had it because he went in for 2 days, and he went in and he went in on Maul, especially Maul. He told Maul to stop tweeting and pick up a mic if Joe lets him. He said, "Ask Joe for 5 minutes."
That's tough.
But yeah, it's just interesting seeing how they react. Because even Maul on Twitter today just went, I'm just gonna talk about basketball and act like I don't know what's going on with Joe, which is what he seems to do all the time when Joe's in trouble and act like that's not his best friend, even though he goes in these passionate rants against guys hitting women.
That's what I was crazy about. I'm like, how do you sit there and let Joe do this shit and talk all about it, especially after the Votto shit, and be like, we ain't condoning this shit. Your boy gets caught with not 1, but 2 allegations of abuse, and really 3 if you think about the dog. He didn't abuse 3 different people.
It's been more than that.
I was just in a recent couple of months, at least a couple of weeks. And so you got 3 cases of abuse on you right now that seem to be showing a pattern of behavior. And you just yo, man, NBA players is intense right now. Nigga, what?
But it's really funny, though, because everything that Maul says, I don't hang with niggas that do this, I don't hang with niggas that do that. Joe is that.
He's that nigga. He's that guy.
When you listen to the phone call with him and Sin, Maul said, I don't hang with niggas who take care of their kids. And all she talked about how, when the phone calls, how he doesn't send money. He doesn't take it.
He don't send money because he's trying to get it from Spotify, guys. Come on. doesn't have any. He's trying to get that 250 that he gonna chop her out.
Yeah,
he gonna get it.
He didn't kick her out the house. Like it's bad. It's bad for Joe right now. It's gonna be interesting to see how he responds to this, because for some reason people think because he speaks loud and yells and talks angry that he's making points when normally he doesn't.
Oh, he gonna skate on it. The fact that he skated on the Tahiri thing and then this came out, they gonna con him about the whole dog shit because nigga, that's just funny. Like that's not going nowhere. But like other than that,
I bet he doesn't mention that dog thing.
You don't think he gonna mention it? I think with the podcast out, he gotta mention it. He got like
I feel like that's his character to mention something like that. He's a goofball who says dumb shit.
You think he gonna cop to it? He gonna be like, I did it one time, so the fuck what? Like, is he gonna cop to it? Or is he gonna be like, it was a joke, guys? Come on, kidding.
I'm gonna pull a clip. I'm rooting for Screaming.
Can't like it's stuff because you know what the crazy thing is, all the stuff that he's been accused of doing that he claims he didn't do, he said at some point, either in a song or on a podcast, that he's done it. That's what I don't understand. Like, why
he has the weakest case in court. I never did that, Your Honor. But you hear on 4 songs saying you did. Well, that was a joke. like the whole breaking Tahiri ribs thing. It's like he's literally said on a song that he broke her ribs. Like it's like he said in the song, "I hit you like a man. I broke her ribs," or something like that. Like, and then he said, "I never touched her." So it's like, which one is it? She lying? Like, I mean, apparently he's gonna try to play that game. I know you right now. He should never came at Spotify. They found all his shit. They put his shit on Front Street.
You coming up there and asking for an insane offer, and then acting like I'm wrong for not giving it to you.
Like Spotify's, I'm a big show ass real quick. Just you watch. Find these court cases. We got good lawyers. Gonna find all of these records. Oh man, Joe.
Man, those court, like you read those court docs, it's like this is.
Oh, I'm gonna go through those later.
This is a disturbing individual. He's disturbed.
Well,
he pioneered everything though, so it's good.
Right, pioneered the podcast.
Pioneered podcast.
The dog jerk off.
First guy to have a show on YouTube.
Ever. First YouTube show ever. Ever.
I don't even know what the fuck this Joe Budden TV shit even is.
Yeah, it's like, dude. And he keeps calling himself, and the other thing, like he keeps calling himself a creative, and he hasn't created anything. It's like, what's your idea? Like, what's something that you did that's different than anybody else? Oh, I'm going to revolt and do my same podcast with a different set of people.
Cornier.
Right, cornier. I'm going to do it with a new black, Remy, and another girl. Like,
oh, not a new black. A new black?
Yeah, what's her name? Jinx? Is her name Jinx?
New black. I thought we made a whole podcast without coming at the new blacks.
New blacks. The new blacks.
Yeah, the new blacks will believe they'll believe Joe or the Hoteps. The Hoteps are going to come out and say, "Well, Spotify did this because he was trying to buy Spotify."
They love that shit. That's their favorite line. He was about to
black segment.
Well, people don't know. Oh,
yeah, I might have to do one every week.
See what they've done this week.
The new black segment. Yeah, I'm with it. New black segment.
They do something every week that amazes me.